Why can't I get this to stay? Okay, there we go. Took out my other one. It'd probably help if I actually brush my hair today. Hi guys, what's going on? Welcome through, welcome through. Tap the screen for me, please. Like the live, it helps me draw more people in, and I need all the help I can get. Tapping the screen and liking the live, totally free, totally free. So feel free, tap the live stream. Double taps are free. I like it. I like it. Good morning, all. I hope everybody has an amazing day. I said I come on in the morning and I'll normally get my face ready for the day. Ah, I hate this thing. I can't figure out how to turn it off permanently. Little box keeps coming up and it's like visitor like wishes or some shit. I don't know what it says, but I'm like, just sits right in the corner there. I'm like, yes, end it, end it. I don't know what it is. I have no idea how I turned it on and I have no idea how to get it off now. You know what I mean? Good morning, guys. Welcome through. I said I am dual streaming, so if you hear me talking to somebody else and you're like, wait a minute, they're not in my chat, I promise you I haven't lost my marbles. I'm just talking to the other chat. So we do the weird news first thing in the morning. I said I was talking yesterday. I don't know if you guys seen, but like in SeaWorld, they had like another orca attack. I just changed my hair last night too. So I'm like, it feels all soft, all nice. Like, I don't know. I was red for a really, really long period of time. And I've done every color hair that there is to do. The only one I haven't done is green. I don't feel like green would work well on me. Like, I don't feel like green would be like a good color for me. But I haven't been blue in like a bit. I don't know. I'm kind of digging it. I'm kind of digging it. It's very Katy Perry, like that bright blue type. You know what I mean? Good morning, guys. Welcome through. Tap the screen for me, like the live. I love it when people stop by to see me first thing in the morning. So I said I come on in the morning and I do the weird news. So it's just trending topics, viral videos, influencer news, the normal news, like just whatever I come across that a lot of people are talking about. I try to, bring it to light, bring it to you guys. You know what I mean? I like it when people stop by. Everybody's more than welcome in here. If you're new, you're more than welcome. Come and chit chat with me. Hi, Karn. What's going on, guys? Welcome through. Yeah, we're gonna have a great day, y'all. We're gonna have a great day, and it's all gonna start off with moisturizing. That's the key to a great day. Okay, so there's a viral video going around right now, right? And I've seen this posted a few times, but I just had to share it, right? This is like the grossest thing ever to me. Okay. So this woman, I don't know, like those little things that the kids ride on out front of the grocery store. You put a quarter. It used to be a quarter. I don't know. Why are you putting that steel putty on your face? It's sunscreen. Yeah, sunscreen. Yeah, just sunscreen. Like, it's not putty. It's just sunscreen. Yeah, I like to wear sunscreen. I sit under UV light, so it's like I try to make sure that I put on sunscreen every day. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Guys, I don't know. But so, guys, welcome through. Like I said, like the live, I also moisturize. I started needing a skincare routine because I'm getting older. So, all right, here we go. So there's like it's one of those like children's toys type things where people you go up, you put the quarter in. They're probably like $1.50 now. They used to be like a quarter and whatnot. But those things that you ride on. Hi, Samantha. What's going on? Guys, welcome through. If you're new, you're more than welcome. Come chit chat with me. Like I said, like the live, tap the screen. Makes my heart super happy when people do that. But so, this woman, right? There's a video going around, and it's of this woman, and she's, I would say, in her 20s maybe, and she's riding one of those. And when I tell you that it's mad, like it's obviously hitting like a certain way. Like, so she's sitting there and everybody kind of knows what's going on, but she's just riding it out, no pun intended, riding it out. But I'm like, ugh, like, did you at least wipe it off? She had like shorts on in the video. I'm like, did you at least wipe it off when you were done? Like, I don't know. Like, but she's definitely way too into it. I'm like, okay, I guess, okay. Like, the video is something else. I'm like, oh God, like, I hope she had like some what do they call it? I'm having a brain fart. It's too early. What would you do if you got to be 10 feet tall for a day? I would check out what is on the top shelves of my kitchen cabinets. I would dust up there. I'm only like 5 foot tall, so like, I mean, I've never seen them. I have nothing on the top shelf of my cabinets because I can't reach it. I have a footstool. I'll admit this. I have a footstool. It's fine. I can't reach everything. 10 feet tall. I would definitely see what the air was like up there. When you're short, all you do is smell people's farts all the time. Yeah. Renee's blue hair, even at this age, right? I was gonna say I haven't had blue hair in a bit. I just did it last night, and I said it's rocking right along. So normally I'm red, normally I'm like bright red, but I said I needed a change. I needed something different. So yeah, that's that video. I was gonna say there's a woman who's a live streamer on TikTok, and I've been seeing a lot of people post about her. She has Anthony. Oh my god, guys, I'm dual streaming. Oh my god, that was so, Anthony, you're so sweet. You know you don't have to. That was so nice. Thank you so much. Like seriously, that like oh god, that just made my heart like soar. Like thank you. Oh my god. Guys, make sure if you don't know Anthony, make sure to go put a follow on him because he's been one of my like long time like I like you're so nice. Like you I tell you this every time that you really don't need to do that, but like I said everything I earn online I put right back into my small business and like your hair is stunning. Oh, you like it? You like the blue, Anthony? I said I just did it last night, so I'm still kind of getting used to it myself. It'll fade a little bit once like it gets like a couple weeks in, you know what I mean? But I like it. Like so far I like it. Oh, you're so sweet. That was so nice of you to do. That was so nice. You're a dear, dear person. Like, you're way too nice to me. Way nicer than anybody should ever be. You know what I mean? Thank you, Frank. Here, let me put a follow back on you. That's so sweet, honey. Oh, no, you know, like, it really, like, it means a lot to me. I don't expect anything from anybody. I don't expect to come live and have anybody gift me. But like that's seriously, that's super sweet, and you know that you don't have to do that. I tell you this every time. Like you know you don't have to do that. Like hit me in the feels this morning, and thank you so much, baby. Like seriously, thank you. I cannot say thank you enough to you. You've always like supported me, and I totally rock for you. Like you know what I mean. Like you're like you're way too nice to me. You're way nicer than you need to be to me. Like, thank you. Alexa, next. Like, seriously. That really hit me in the feels. I don't expect anything when I come on. And then when people actually do it, I'm like, holy shit. I wouldn't gift me. I'm an asshole. I'm just saying, like, I wouldn't gift me. Fuck it. Like, oh, that was so nice. Thank you. That really, like, you just made my day. Like, 100% you just made my day. Like I said, guys, make sure you put a follow on him if you don't know Ant. Like, that was so sweet. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Like, seriously, like, that was so nice. Like, my heart just went like this. Like, the end of the Grinch Stole Christmas, it was like this. The X-ray machine broke. I was like, oh, you know me, I'm so weird when it comes to, like, gifting online that when people do it, going back to meet me, our streams used to crash all the time. Like, they literally used to crash all the time. So every time... You're totally amazing. Oh, well, thank you. I'm just trying to keep up with you, baby. That was really nice. I really do appreciate that. Like, 100%. You know? Like, 100%. I said, he's absolutely wonderful. Guys, I am dual streaming, so if you hear me talking to somebody and they're not in your chat, I promise you it's just the other chat. Make sure, everybody in here, make sure to go follow my YouTube. Make sure to go follow my TikTok. I said I do, I try to live stream as much as I possibly can. Like I said, I work... I have a family, I have like a social life, I play pool, like, so it's like I try to, but everything I earn on live, I put back into my small business. If you guys want to go check it out, it's edgeoftheeasel.com. I have a lot of designs up there. I have a lot of stuff up there. Like I'm working on expanding the business and having more people, JJ, good morning, and having more, like, having people go out and do events for me rather than me going and selling the stuff. Like it's a process. So I said, we're getting there. We're getting there. But so, oh, that was so nice. So there's like this woman, her name's, I've never seen any of her lives, but I've seen the clips and whatnot, right? And it's like, there's like this Justice for Mel hashtag going on right now. Susan has 2 children that are both autistic, right? And I know there's been like some stuff, like the son, like her one daughter has, like they have, like people with autism typically have a regression around 2 years old. She actually went through another regression, which typically doesn't happen unless something like traumatic has happened, right? So people are like really worried for this girl because now she used to be able to talk. Now she can't talk. Some comments were filtered. I don't know who said what, but it didn't show. It was probably something like, "How are you, love?" Like it always wants to filter like weird shit. But so her daughter can't speak. And people think that she's exploiting her children because they are, she always makes sure she has them on the stream. She always makes sure that, like especially the daughter just kind of sits and rocks back and forth. Like she doesn't really, but then there's videos coming out where like even 5 years ago where she was, so people are speculating that the girl is possibly being like, people have been really, really upset at this chick because like she mentioned on her live stream the one day that the son helps the daughter go to the bathroom. Like she can't go to the bathroom by herself. And they're like, well, why is he taking her? And then I seen this video and I'll tell you this much, like I thought it was a little inappropriate. He's sitting on, like she's on her live stream. She's talking about something she just bought. You can see the kids in the background. I said, the kids are both adults now. And he's got his hand and he's like rubbing it, like in between, like, and she turned around real quick and she was like, no, he's touching her leg. Like you've seen his hand go back. So I like I said, I don't want to speculate, but I do understand why people are getting concerned. You know what I mean? Like I get it. And I said a lot of times, and people too, once they decide that they're like coming for you on the internet, they come for you. Like I have seen people's whole lives get destroyed over stuff that happened online. So yes, this can absolutely, like this can 100% work its way into your everyday life. You know what I mean? Like I've seen people that have lost their children over shit that they've done on live. I've seen people get adult protective services called on them. I've seen people get the IRS called on them. And I'm like, when they decide they're coming for you, they like come for you. So this chick, she was going to try to like move. She wanted to sell her house, right? She talked to the realtor. It's so bad. So many people are mad at her, right? That she got, the realtor that she was working with to sell her house, she called her and said, listen, I can't do this. Like they're calling me nonstop. Somehow people from the internet found the realtor's number and started calling and like threatening her. So she's like, I can't, like, I can't do this. Like I can't have people calling my phone all the time. I can't have, so she was like, I'm gonna have to take a step back and I can't act as your realtor. But so people will absolutely like, if people really get pissed, they will absolutely. Austin, good morning, honey. Guys, Anthony's too nice. Make sure to go put a follow on him. I really do appreciate you like a lot. Like I said, I have no expectations when I go live ever. Like I literally come on live and I'm like, oh, maybe people will come through and talk to me or tap the screen or whatever. Good morning, Austin. How are you, baby? So I said, what do you think of the hair, Austin? Is it a good look? I said, I haven't been anything but red, like red and black in like a long time. I've had blue hair before. The only color hair I've never done is green. I don't feel like green would be a good look on me. Don't feel like it would be a good look. Tap the screen like the live, guys. I appreciate you guys stopping by. So the D-man, the one that's in jail right now for all that stuff, he got convicted of certain things, but I can't say his name on here because it flags it. His name kind of sounds like Daddy. You know what I mean? That guy. I love doing random acts of kindness. Dude, you were victorious with that today. That was like I said, that seriously like made my day. Like straight up, like you just made my day. And you came in like right as I was like that was so ridiculously nice. Like, oh, I'm good, Austin. I'm hanging in there. I said it is another lovely day on the internet. We're going to learn how to talk. We're going to learn how to talk one of these days. Like, that was really sweet. I said, Anthony's way too nice. Guys, make sure you go follow him. 100%. So, there's new allegations, though, right, against the D-man. One of his former producers has said, like, came out after all this. Now, with this, you cannot be convicted and or tried for the same crime against another person or against the same person. Like if the people that were complainants in this, in the last trial, exactly. But if they were, they can't retry him for something for like the same, thing. This is a whole new person coming out now. I'm wondering why he didn't, say something before when all that was going on. Bugsy, come here. let's see. I have the guys are coming today and doing replacing my gas meter. So I'm like, is that down? I hope not. I have the front door open, but I have it locked, so he can't. He's out there sunbathing, you know. But so his former producer is accusing him, and like I said, I'm just wondering why he didn't bring this up before. You know what I mean? But he's saying that he was groomed and that he was, manipulated. Like he's saying pretty much everything that the women and the men that are formally, were against him in the last court case. He's coming out. So this is a whole new one. And so people are like, oh, he's going to get out of jail, like all this stuff. Well, now he's got a whole new one coming. I don't understand how they can say that we're going to find a jury of your peers when it's biased as fuck, because everybody is either heard of him, has heard his music, know who's he, and then with the last court case, everybody knew about that. So how are they going to find 12 members of a jury? And that's the thing with the juries, is like they have to be 12 in agreement. Like it can't be like the majority vote. It has to be like 12 that are like guilty. And then with somebody with that many connections, it's always possible you can pay the jurors off. Like, you can threaten it. Like there's always other things that go into play with that. You know what I mean? Guys, tap the screen, like the live. I love it when people stop by to see me. I said, today is going to be a good day. Today is going to be a good day. It's off to a good start, that's for sure. Oh, I was going to say, have you guys heard about that new stuff? It's called, I don't know if it's 70H or if it's 70. They had originally come out and said that it was like a kratom derivative. I'm going to learn how to talk today. Kratom derivative, but it's actually not. It's got all synthetic stuff on it. People have been having like, where's him at? Come here. Come here. Come see me. But so, but it's sold in most like smoke shops, Hey, Mystique, what's going on? It's sold in most vape shops, like, or at gas stations, or like this is something you can go. And they're saying that they are going to, come September, I believe is what they said, they're going to schedule it. So making an actual scheduled. Hey girl, you're amazing. Oh, thank you, Mystique. Appreciate. Oh, we're off to a good start today. Thank you. Thank you, Ed. I appreciate that. But so they're actually going to make this a controlled substance, which I'm like, well, like I've been hearing like horror stories about it, like online, like where people, happy Friday, honey, thank you. But I've been hearing horror stories about it. So they originally marketed it as a herbal kratom derivative, but there's actually no kratom. Is that how you say kratom? Kratom? I've never known how you say that, but like it's actually not. Like kratom is something that actually can be beneficial to a lot of people. So they're not going after that, but they are going after the stuff that's 70, like 70 or 70H. I don't know. Like, I don't know. You know what I mean? But so they're saying that it's like really bad stuff. They're saying it has a lot of addictive properties. It's synthetic. So they market it as something that's herbal, but it's really not herbal. It was created in a lab, just like everything else. You know what I mean? So, oh yeah, I talked about this the other day. They had, like I said, Katy Perry's been having like some issues. Her new show, like everybody's saying like that it's sloppy, that it's not well put together, that like, it's so shit's like falling apart. Like I said, she's either riding on the back of a dragonfly or like a butterfly or something. She rides around the arena. She was on it and it dropped about 10 feet the one day. Like there was a malfunction. Well, now she has this ball, right? She has a ball. That was a lot of primer. She has like a ball and she literally, it's like a metal ball. She gets up inside of it and she just holds on to it, turns upside down. And I said, it's the weirdest looking thing I've ever seen, because she looks like one of those baby dolls. The plastic ones where their legs don't bend? She's literally just hanging upside down, spinning in a circle inside of it. And then her aerialists are like off of it. Well, that malfunctioned the other day and they couldn't lift it. So they're now saying that she ended up, she was pretty shaken over it. Like, I guess she did an interview about it and they're saying like but like, why? So her show keeps having these malfunctions, which are dangerous for her, especially when she's doing stuff up in the air and all this stuff. But then there's things like thank you, Mystique. You guys are so nice. I appreciate you. Nearly done for the day. Oh, you got a week off of work. What are you going to do with it? Just sit around and Watch TV. Like, you know what I mean? What's that? Good morning. Oh, thank you, baby. Oh, you guys are so nice. You guys are so nice. I really appreciate y'all. I said everything I earn online, I put back into my small business. It's back there if you guys want to check it out. Edgeoftheeasel.com. I have a lot of stuff up there. I have more stuff coming. It's a process. Like, I'm trying to get it cleaned up, like the website and whatnot. But so I have an online store, and I really like it. Like, I really, really like designing stuff. I really like making things. I really like, putting that stuff out there. And then I'll go out to like different shows and sell my merch like there too. I'm trying to get it together now where I will have people go out and sell stuff for me rather than me going. And because I'll be real, in summertime, I'm like cranky. If I'm outside and it's too hot, I'm cranky as fuck. Like, you know what I mean? My gallbladder. I was gonna say honestly, Anthony, I had my gallbladder removed like 20 years ago, right? And it's not like a bad surgery. Like, it's not. But then guess what? As soon as they take it out, you're good. Gallstones can be super duper painful. I remember I had heart surgery, right? Like, once upon a time, and then it was maybe like 3 weeks afterwards, right? I'm like, I woke up and I'm like, oh God, like I felt like I couldn't breathe. Like, I literally, when they say a gallstone, that's exactly what it feels like, is a fucking stone in your stomach. You know what I mean? Like, and I was like, man, I just don't feel like, oh God, there's something wrong. So I went down to the hospital. They did like an ultrasound and whatnot. They're like, yeah, you have gallstones in there. They're like, we're gonna need to take your gallbladder out. And I was like, oh my God. And then the incision's only like that big. Like, that's the scar that I got, is about that big. And it was like 3 weeks after I had just had heart surgery. So I was like, but I'll tell you this much. I hate how I'm always in my head and I always panic and everything. Well, that's understandable. Is it your first surgery, Anthony? It's really, like, I'm telling you, like, afterwards, it's not painful. It's not like, you'll honestly, like, once it's done, you'll be relieved. Like, because you won't have to worry about it ever again. I want to know, the people always say, like, the people that are really in religion, they say, we are made in God's perfect image. So why do we have things like an appendix? Like, I get that it's an extra filter, but if we really don't need it to survive and it can cause, like, all these other issues, why we got them? Now I get the gallbladder is it's supposed to help, your poopy stick. That's the whole point of it. It's supposed to make your poopy stick. And it's like the stuff that goes in it that makes it hard, you know what I mean? But it's like, but you can totally live without it. So I'm like I'm just saying. Ages ago. This one, from what I hear, I've never had my appendix removed, but from what I hear, like, the appendix is painful. The gallbladder, like I said, I was in and out, and the surgery is a very quick surgery. Like, I always look at it as like, I'm just going to go take a nap for a little bit and I'll wake up. And I said, I've gotten to be a pro at surgeries at this point in my life. Like, I've gotten to be a pro. Like, they're like, do you have any issues with anesthesia? I've never had any. I mean, I've had anesthesia. I've never had any issues with it or anything like that. But, like, it's a very quick surgery. And I said, once it's out of there, you'll feel so much better. Because once it started, I had never really noticed it before. Like, that was the first time I'd ever really had, that I know of, a gallbladder attack. And it was painful. Like, I got a kidney stone years ago, right? And kidney stones are horrible. Those are evil, evil things. Like, seriously, they're evil. And I got up the one day, and I was like, something's not right, right? And I'd spent the night over at my boyfriend's house that night, like, the whole bit. This is probably, like, I don't know, like 20 years ago at this point. Like, it was a long time ago. But so I got up, and like I said, I'd stayed over at his parents' house. Like, I'd stayed at his house because, we were younger. So he had a room, his own part of the house, the whole bit. So I'd go on and spend the night. And I got up the next morning, and I was like, I don't feel good. Like, and I just felt like pain, like right here, but it wasn't too bad. I ended up, I'm like, oh, I need to go home. Like, so I went back. I lived with my mom at the time. I'd moved back in there after I broke up with my ex-husband. And, so by the time I got back to the house, I was in so much pain. I was literally doubled over on, like, the floor of the bathroom, and I was, like, getting sick. Like, I literally thought, that's it. there has to be something internally that's taking me out because this was just, and it kept getting worse and worse. So we're like driving to the hospital, right? My mom's like screaming because nobody, my sister came up, she's like, sounds like you got a kidney stone. And I'm like, I don't know what it is, but I know it's painful, right? I had a kidney stone, but you know, most of the time you just kind of pass them. Like people have kidney stones all the time. And most of the time you just kind of pass them. I had a kidney stone that had developed, and when it did, it had almost like a hook on it, right? And like when it tried to pass, it got stuck and it couldn't pass. So like, oh my God, kidney stones, gallstones, they are horrible, horrible things. But I'm like, we don't really. I mean, like the gallbladder really doesn't serve much purpose besides making you poopy sick. Like that's just, you know, that's pretty much all it does. You know what I mean? But like I said, you'll feel so much better once you get that out there. Like you'll be like relieved. Like I said, I never had any issues. It's a real quick, real simple surgery. Get in, you get out, and then you're like magically fixed. You know what I mean? So oh, did you guys? I don't watch like the Resilient Jenkins. Like I know that a lot of people like watch them and talk about them and like all this stuff, right? They had a thing the other day. I've never watched one of their live streams like ever. They had a thing the other day where I guess, and people are saying it possibly was staged. I don't know. Sometimes people will do things to create drama online. That way it gets people talking about them more. I don't got time for all that shit. Like I really don't. I'm like, the last thing I want to do is argue with people online. Like I'm like, it's cool. Like, you know, people come through, they're like, like they don't like me. Okay, then go to a different room. I mean, like the trolls and whatnot when they come through, I'm just like, dude, like nobody's making you be here. Like nobody ever said you had to cut. You don't like me? Okay, cool. Sorry. I don't know. Like, what do you like? I don't understand what it is they want me to say. And I said, since I've started doing YouTube, I found that there's like a lot of kids on YouTube. So that's pretty much like the only place I ever really get trolls. Like, I really don't get trolls anywhere else. It's mainly like on YouTube. So they had like a breakup, right? And everybody was like, they're going to get back together. They're going to get back together. And for anybody who doesn't know who they are, hey, Johnny, what's going on? They are like this couple. She's big on like TikTok, you know, all this stuff. They live, like, I think there's something like 7 kids, and they all live in a hotel room. And like she had abandoned her cats at one point. And like, I mean, it was just, they're messy. Let's put it that way. They're messy. And like she's outside sweeping rocks and shit, like just doing shit that don't make sense. Like people are like, you know, she's busy, but it's stuff that doesn't really need to be done. Like you're gonna sweep the rocks on the outside of your hotel room. Like she's literally standing on one of them big rocks that they put there so people don't run into like the front of buildings. One of those big heavy rocks, that she's standing on top of it sweeping it. And I'm like, it's weird. Or people are thinking that they're using possibly other substances because she's doing a lot of like needless cleaning. Like the one day she spent like all these hours like steaming the pillows. And then putting like, yeah, like the pillows. Like I'm not going to steam clean my pillows. If it gets like to the point where it needs to get thrown out, I'm just going to throw it out and buy a new one. Like it's not that expensive to just buy a new pillow. Like, you know, but so, and then like there was another video of her where she's cleaning the wheels on the bassinet, you know, for her baby. They just had another baby. Well, anyway, they had like a breakup, right? And he posted this video where it was like him in a suitcase. And he's like walking down the street, like, well, this is. And then she went on and she was like doing like an ugly crying video, like where she was like all upset. I don't understand. See, I think that they really did break up, but I think they got back together real quick. Like that can happen when you're in a really toxic relationship. You'll be so serious. Like, I got to get out of this. I can't do this anymore. I can't do this. Like I said, I've had some times where I've gotten with toxic people, and then they come back and they're nice, and you're like, oh no. But here's the thing, maybe wait a little bit rather than you guys get into a fight and then that night you're posting about how y'all broke up. And then so they ended up, I guess they got back together. See, what are you doing, baby? Good morning. But so that's been like the other thing. I seen this one the other day and I thought this was interesting, right? Michael Jackson's son is all grown up now. I guess I don't know if it was blanket or what. He had a few kids, right? How many kids Alexa, how many kids did Michael Jackson have?
Michael Jackson
And then there was another one named Blanket, right? I'm in. Oh my God, Michael, are you? Oh my God, honey, is it like what? What are you not before? Be back getting ready. Oh, do you think, Johnny? I'm a luxury item. I'm here whenever you guys get time for me, you know. But so I don't remember which kid it was. He had another one named Blanket. I know he did. So that would be four if you take like Prince Michael Jackson, like all that shit. But so his son did not realize like he was at a party, right? And he was standing there and he's talking. He was on a live stream from this party, right? And he thought his live had turned off. I seen this. I was like, right? It gets sticky here because he forgets he's on a live, right? And he thought that the live shut off and he leaned over. Oh baby, Anthony, I hope you feel better, baby. Michael, I hope you guys feel better. Like, we need to get you guys fixed, man. We need to get you guys all healed up, feeling good. You know what I mean? You both deserve it. You both fucking deserve it to feel good all the time. You are awesome, Anthony. I appreciate you, hon. But so they ended up that so he's staying there and he's talking to another friend, and he leans into this friend thinking that his live stream is off, and he's like, he says something like, well, don't tell anybody this, but my dad's still alive, he just doesn't want to be found. So the conspiracy theories can begin. Like, I don't know what that means. I don't know, like, what. Guys, if you got a free hand, do me a favor, tap the screen. Helps me draw more people in. And like I said, they've been shadowing me like crazy lately. And like, I would like to get out of that mode. You know what I mean? He's with Tupac and Elvis, right? Like, I'm like, so there's always been those conspiracy theorists that they're like, oh, they're not really like passed on. Like, they're not really passed on. They've just all moved to an island. I guess, I don't know. There's like a colony of famous people somewhere that like, yeah, they all had mysterious circumstances. And then, but I'm like, but they tried the doctors. I don't think that's possible. Like, I don't think that if he was still alive, like they literally tried the doctors that were giving him all that stuff. Normally people in addiction, regardless of what it is, they're not going to, and he had like a cocktail of stuff in him, like when he passed away. But most of the time people are not gonna give that, like, even if he wasn't ready to like give the spotlight up and everything like that, nobody just goes, well, I'm not gonna take this anymore, huh? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like that. So I'm like, but so, oh, and then I was talking yesterday because I said Matthew Perry, when he passed away, there's a woman that's going to be put on trial for his unaliving because she's called like the ketamine queen. So she was the one that sold it to him. So she's going to go on trial for it. I got nice blue hair even at this age. See, Karn knows really how to charm the women. But yeah, so he said that MJ is still alive. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe he was just fucking with his friend. Maybe I don't know. But like I said, he didn't think that the live stream was on. So he like it was a quick comment and everybody went. And then the videos and everything start coming. They're like, oh, he's still around. He was a pretty like noticeable person. Like, and he was really well known throughout the world. If he was living anywhere, even on like say like a private island, like that he owned, like, because Lord knows he could have bought an island. You know what I mean? Like, people would see him. They'd have to see him. Like his maids, you think Michael Jackson is going to clean his own house regardless of whether you think that you know what I mean? Like, and he had a very, very noticeable look. Like, I don't think there's anybody else that has ever looked like him. Like, it fucked me up so bad because like people were like, why is like his skin tone changing? And he came out and he's like, oh, I got a condition that makes my skin lighten. But then it got to the point like, this motherfucker's whiter than me. Like, I'm pale, you know what I mean? He would look, no. See, I think, like, seriously, I think, and which is funny because South Park, actually, you remember that episode where he was like, thank you. And he had moved to South Park and it was like he had, like, I think that the nose, the skin color, like, yeah, if he shaved his head, you know what I mean? Like, maybe he was wearing a costume the whole time, he just didn't want anybody to know. But so Latoya Jackson, she is a D-riding motherfucker. I'm telling you this much. Like, so as Michael Jackson got more popular, she got more paler. And then according to her, she had the same condition that he did. When Janet Jackson got popular, all of a sudden, her ethnicity changed back. So like this condition just kicked up all of a sudden in like your 40s, like you know what I mean? And then like I said, the whole thing with like Peter Pan and you know what I'm like, dude, if he wasn't Michael Jackson, people would have been like, yo, that dude's fucking weird. Like that dude, can you imagine like if he was a normal person and looked like that and was like living next to you, you'd be like, okay, guys, go back in the house. Like, yeah, and like, come on, yeah. Mr. Smith is outside again. Go back in the house. Like, I mean, like, yeah, is it possible? Sure, anything's possible, but I believe that it's highly improbable. Improbable, you know. So, oh yeah, I remember this one. So, okay, I've seen this one a lot too. This just happened recently. This was not too long ago. There was an American Airlines flight, right? And he ended up like there was a guy on there who decided he was going to vape, right? And like the stewardess like freaked out on flight attendant, whatever they're called now, like freaked out on him. And she's like, "Do you realize you're creating?" Because like the thing is, when you get on a plane, they have to pump pure oxygen in there to get it to, you know what I mean, like so that you can breathe because you can't breathe. There's no oxygen at that altitude. So they have to fill it with well, pure oxygen is very very flammable. Even with a vape, there's a chance that there's a spark that happens in there. That's just kind of that's how it is. So she like freaked out. She's like, "You're trying to, you know, unalive all of us," and da, da, da. And they actually ended up going back and making an emergency landing because this dude had done that. Like they wanted to get him arrested and get him off like the thing. I'm like, I mean, you might as well just like watch him until you get where you're going and then have them pick him up. You know what I mean? Because you're definitely not allowed to do that. But I think this dude was just stupid. I think it was just stupid. Like just stupid. Like I'll admit, like I'm a vapor, but like I'll wait. I don't need to like. You figure I forget where it was too. It wasn't even like a long flight. It was coming out of Philadelphia, and I want to say it was something like, oh, I don't remember. Maybe something like Texas. I think it's where they were going, which is roughly like a 4-hour flight. I've taken it before. You know what I mean? And it's like, dude, you can't wait. And like I said, I went out to the bar. Love your hair. Do you like it? I was gonna say I needed something. I needed a change. Needed something a little different. But so you know, it's not like an overly long flight. I can see why they were pissed, but at the same time, I kind of think this dude was just stupid. There have been people that have gotten caught smoking in the bathrooms on planes. Like I can see why they've. Yeah, it's really hard when it's pure oxygen. There's no smell. There's no nothing, and then all you can smell is somebody smoking and somebody's in the bathroom. Like it ain't. I don't know how people make it. Like where they go for fucking like to Japan and shit. Like think about how like oh my god, it would trip me out being in a plane that long. Like I would have to do a layover somewhere because I don't think I could do it all the way through. Like has anybody been to Japan? How many hours did it take? Like, I know the Philippines is like 24 hours. I think Australia is like 30 hours from, say, if you flew out of Philadelphia. But I'm like, I've never been in a plane that long. Like, I would literally need to go to my doctor and be like, can you give me medicine just so I can, like, get through this plane ride? Because I would, honestly, I would be like a fucking nervous wreck, like going over ocean and being in there that long. And then I'd probably be like Nick Fitton too, you know what I mean? My back and my knee, I can't do it. Yeah, I was gonna say I just like I would feel so like I would definitely be claustrophobic. I can do like I went down to Florida a couple years ago. That's like a 2-hour plane ride from Philly. I went down to like Texas at one point. That's like a 4-hour ride. I've been out to Colorado. That was a 5-hour ride. But like 35-hour plane rides and whatnot, I'm like, like I would be a mess. I would be just a mess, like 100% just a mess. You know what I mean? Like, just give me something that'll make me sleep through the whole damn thing. No, I don't want to be awake at all. Just give me something that's going to make me sleep for like 30 hours. Like, that's what I need. And going in the doctor's office, listen, I'm not asking, but what I'm saying is I'm getting ready to get on a plane for 32 hours. So, like, yeah. Oh, thank you, Zay, honey. I appreciate you. I was to say Anthony was so nice. He came in like just as I started and like dropped a galaxy on me. And I was like, oh, that was so sweet. So I said, I am dual streaming, guys. Welcome through. If you're new, you're more than welcome. Come and chit chat with me. I said, I like it when people stop by to see me. So if you hear me talking to somebody and they're not in your chat, I promise you I'm not losing it. Like, don't report me. Like, they should let you smoke on planes like the old days. No, they can't. They can't. It's like, it's pure oxygen. It's crazy to me that, oh, thank you, honey. I appreciate you. It's crazy to me that they ever like let that, because that's so beyond flammable. I said when I was younger, I worked for hospice for a little bit, right? And that's the only time I ever seen them pull out of something. Like that's literally, and there was this woman, I think she had COPD, or COPD or lung cancer. And she would sit with her oxygen mask on and she'd breathe out of it and then she'd light a cigarette with the other one. And like they were like, listen, you can't, like if that gets into your oxygen tank, it will literally poof. And they're like, so you will who hasn't pulled out. All right. Z's a quitter, man. That's why he always pulls out. Like, you know what I mean? But yeah, it's crazy to me that once upon a time they did let you smoke on planes. Like I said, I can remember being little and they had like that's the first thing that the waiters and whatnot, like the hosts at like the restaurants would ask you is like, do you want smoking or non-smoking? Well, there was like no wall, there was no nothing, so you normally had to walk through like a cloud of smoke just to get to like the non-smoking section. But then somebody just on the other side of like the little divide could be so I can see. But it's crazy to me now that that was like they used to like doctors used to do fucking smoking commercials. Good ashtray. Like it's crazy to me that doctors were like, "This is healthy." Like they were encouraging like pregnant women to do this. Like they were. I mean, just all sorts. It's crazy. People used to sit like at their desks like during the day and just like chain smoke like all day. Like, and it seems like people have stopped. Like the same mentality is not happening. I said I'm a vapor now. I like I don't I'll smoke here and there, but like for the most part, like I've quit and then I vape now. But the problem is with vaping, you forget the damn things in your. I went out to a bar the other night and I had pool league on Wednesday, and I went out the other night and like I'm sitting at the bar, and I swear to God on my life I went, and I was like, oh fuck. Like I'm inside. Fuck. Me and my daughter went to Ross the one day, right? And I said she's getting ready to be 25 this next year, and she's like, Mom, stop. And I'm like, what am I doing? Like we're walking around. I'm like, what am I doing? And she goes, look at what you're doing. And I'm like, what what am I doing? I had stuff in my hands. I literally had my vape in my hand. I was walking around the store and I didn't even realize I was doing it. Like sometimes you just get used to it being in your hand, and then like I will forget. I absolutely will forget, like 100%. And I think that, and like most doctors tell you, like if you have the choice between smoking or vaping, like that's like like I said, I went to my doctor and told him, oh, and he was like, no, believe me, it's a lot better. And I'm like, is it though? Like it's got different stuff in it. He's like, yeah, it's a lot better. He's like, eventually I'd like for you to quit that too. He's like, but it's a lot better. He's like, it's not even in the same like ballpark, you know what I mean? And I'm like, okay, but like in 30 years, they might be saying something different about it. Like, how did doctors ever endorse this? And he wasn't endorsing it, but he was just saying, like, if that keeps you from doing that, then do it. You know what I mean? All right, so let's see. Oh, they've been talking a lot about. Do you guys remember Sylvia Brown? She was like a psychic. She used to do the Montel Williams show a lot, right? And she did like a lot of publicity stunts. Like she would help police find victims and like all this stuff, right? Or she would, hey Gunner, what's happening, baby? Good morning. Guys, welcome through. Tap the screen, like the live for me. Well, now people are going back and looking at some of her old shows, because she had made predictions for the future of the country too, where she said in 2010 there was going to be like a flesh-eating bacteria that came through and like all this stuff. And they're going back and they're looking at how much she got wrong. So some of the crimes, Alexa, next. Like some of the crimes that she had like gone on the Montel Williams show and talked about, like they ended up like she was like, oh yeah, your daughter, she's alive out there. Somebody has her. She'll be home in like 3 years. Like don't worry. And And then they then found like it was like a year later after she had given this prediction that this woman had passed away in like a car accident or something. She wasn't with somebody. She wasn't. It was just they didn't look in a specific body of water, and that's where she just happened to be. So they're comparing now her old stories to like her updates, and they're like, yeah, 90% of what she said was wrong. So I said, I don't necessarily, I don't really have an opinion over psychics. I've been to them before. It's not something I would really spend my money on again because it's like they take guesstimates. Sonia, good morning, honey. They take guesstimates. Like they'll say, hey, I can see, like you would look at somebody, say my age, right? You can tell I'm in my 40s, right? Good morning, gorgeous. How are you, Sonia? But like somebody in their 40s probably has children. I can see that you have children. Well, yeah, I do. Okay, yeah, and they're you had them when you were young, no, yes, and you're like, yeah, I did have them when I was young, right, right. So they're a bit older. I see this, and you are no longer like you can like there's certain deductions people can make. Like obviously, if somebody's not wearing a wedding ring, they're obviously either not married or divorced. So it's like there's ways that they can read people and kind of put together stuff. But so they're going back now and just looking at it. It's just something that's been going on to predict the next time I'm money. You are such a mess. It'll be today around 3 to 4 p.m. I'll be over. Sonia, you want to come too? Amen, right? But so I think that a lot of psychics, like I like to be, I like to think of myself as an open-minded person. I do think that there are people in the world that potentially have a gift, but I think like 90% of psychics is just bullshit. Like it's just bullshit. They know how to read people, and because there's no way of proving that stuff won't happen. Like I said, I've been to some really good ones before where I went in and was trying like to be stone faced and shit. But like I think that there are maybe like a handful of people that are actual, like maybe they just have visions, maybe they, like I said, I like to consider myself open-minded, but then at the same time I'm like I just think that there are people that are hustlers and they just want to, you have no way of saying when they're like, oh yeah, in the future I'm gonna you'll be remarried with somebody else and that'll be the person you're with forever. You're pretty much telling the person what they want to hear. Somebody that's been through a divorce, somebody that's been through a breakup, if you find out as a psychic that they went through a breakup or a divorce, then you know psychologically that what they're going to be doing is hoping that one day they will find the one and find somebody that treats them right. And because they're predicting something in the future, all they really have to do is tell you about yourself and then kind of do some prediction where they're just guesstimates. It could be, well, no, you're never going to get married again. You're like, whatever. And because you can't see into the future, and they probably can't either, you have no way of saying, oh, they're not real. People normally go, oh, well, she said this, said this, said this. I think, and that was right. So what she says for the future, that must be true. I'm getting my fucking gas meter. I'm hoping that I'm like, I don't want people in my house. My dog's gonna go nuts. I don't know if they're replacing the gas meter inside or outside today, but so they'll be here in a little bit. Mikey, good morning. Guys, welcome through. Tap the screen, like the live. I love when you guys come through to see me. So yeah, she was a fraud. Like, I mean, it really didn't. She wrote all those books about the afterlife and like all this stuff, and like she told all these people, gave all these people like hope that things. So now people are coming forward going, well, yeah, she said this about my daughter who couldn't be found, or she said this, and like she would give predictions about the world. Like I said, she did say in 2010 there would be a flesh-eating bacteria that would break out in the U.S. Well, that didn't happen. Like, you know what I mean? They're now going back and looking at all her predictions going, boy, she was way off. Now that we've lived it and we've seen, like, yo, this shit didn't happen. And I'm like, I mean, I really didn't believe it to begin with. Like, if anything, I think that it's not a bad thing to give people hope. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think it's a bad thing to give people hope. Like, they're hoping that their daughter will be found one day, but then it's almost more like, people go into psychics and they're there to look for something. So you just got to find out psychologically what the other person is looking for and give that to them, like spoon feed it right back to them. So I said, somebody, you can, they go in and you can see, like, if you wear a ring for like a certain amount of time, you're Robert. What's going on, baby? Good morning, honey. But so, if you have, like, say, if you've been engaged for a long time or like married or whatever, you can see that, like, people will have like a tan line. And then if they don't have their ring on, you can go, okay, well, I see you've gone through a breakup. You were married, correct? But they, like I said, they do it in a very slick way. You know what I mean? They do it in a very slick way where you're like, I was married. Oh my God, what? Like, and then all they have to do, Aries, good morning, honey. Guys, welcome through. Tap the screen, like the live. I love it when people stop by to see me. I said, I don't ever expect anything from anybody, but every little thing is beyond more than appreciated. Like I said, everything I earn, I put right back into my small business. So I said, you guys have 100% helped me grow. I don't expect that. The most I could ever, love the blue hair, do you? I was going to say, I'm iffy about it, but I like it too. We'll see, like, once the color, like, settles. Like, we'll see what happens when, like, the color settles. Blue is really hard to keep in the hair. Like, you would think that red stays, man. That shit stays. Like, red stays, Blue, I did it before, and, like, after a few weeks, it turned, like, seafoam green. I was like, but I do like blue hair. I like blue hair, So let's see. Oh, yeah. I'm not going to spend too much time on this one because, like I said, I try to do the lighthearted stuff, the stuff that isn't like that. I don't know if you guys had seen about the parents recently. This has been in the news a lot, so I'll just touch on it real quick. But there were a couple of parents. They ended up saying that their 7-month-old was kidnapped, like all this stuff. Then, like, it was messy. They found the baby no longer alive. Like, and but they, aw, thank you. Oh, that's cool. That's so cool. Thank you, Aries. You guys have been way too nice to me this morning. I appreciate you. Thank you, Aries. That one's cool. I'm like, wait a minute, what's happening? I said, Meet Me has fucked me up for life. I swear to God, Aries. Every time I see a gift, I'm like, my stream's breaking. Like, on Meet Me, if it got to the point where we would get gifted and it would just crash the whole stream. Or it would, like, freeze up. Oh, thank you, honey. I appreciate that. 100%. You guys know I adore the shit out of you all. But so, yeah, they faked the unaliving of their baby. And it's a sad story. Like I said, that was really nice. Very nice. Like, but it was sad. I stopped by, hi, John, what's going on? I stopped by the other day, and I seen, like I said, there was a chick that I know from Meet Me, and people are calling, like, her a scammer, and she's, like, in a wheelchair. I haven't said her name because I don't, like, I've always liked her. I don't have any reason to not like her. She's never given me any reason to not like her. But so that's still kind of going on. So I went to her room the other day, and I went in, and I was just like, it was overwhelming. Like, she's a hardcore streamer. Like, even if you look at streaming as, say, like, some people look at this as, like, a job, right? I don't look at it as a job. Like, Meet Me changed. Yeah, it used to be, like, pretty decent, and then it just started to suck. Like, I'm like, yeah, I mean, people, I don't think, expect much. When they go live, they expect that at least the stream's going to work. When it gets to the point where you got to reset, I had days where I was just getting off there pissed off, and it wasn't, yeah, it just, I've never seen a site that didn't work as much as Meet Me does. So I'll try to go live. Like, I was talking to Austin the other day, right? And I was like, well, I haven't been live. And, like, all I do is chase gifts and diamonds, right? You diamond. Big diamond hoe. Yeah, it's, like I said, it's really not worth it anymore. Like, once upon a time, Cyber Panhandler, I like, literally cannot stand that. I cannot stand it at all. Like, hey guys, can somebody, like, not even begging for gifts, people are being really audacious and just being like, can anybody cash at me, like, $20? Like, what? Why? What? And then all it takes is you finding, like, a nice person, and then they're exploiting people, or, like, if I ever start to act like that, you guys have full ability, because there's people like that on every single live streaming site where they're just like, hey guys, like I said, I can't even really do the battles. I can't even really get into them because like I have to be in the mood to do them because I said I seem to get people that either don't speak English, and that's and then I don't, it's awkward for me to sit there and just stare at this other person. Like talk to you guys, yes, but then just sit there like, so no English. Okay. Battle, and they'll keep sending it to me, and I'm like, why would you want to sit here and not say anything to me? Like, you know, I mean, but they'll do it just because they want people to gift them, and it's like I don't know. I said I really don't do the battles to get gifted. I can do battles here and there, just kind of network, see who else is out there, see what they're about, and I said it really does start to anger me. Like I'll come across people, and they're really like, don't let me lose, guys. Don't let me lose. Like going hard, and you're like, dude, like what you're saying to people is send me money, send me money, send me money, and it's just gross. Like I don't know. Like I said, I think that, like I said, you got to really make sure that you watch because people can be very manipulative, and some of the best streamers online. Like if somebody's too good at this shit, be wary. If somebody is way too good at this shit, you should never feel like you have to give somebody in order to be their friend. You should never. But like the whole like, don't let me lose, guys. Don't let me lose. And they'll go to a battle with somebody else. And they're like, don't let me lose. Don't let me lose. Come on, guys. We got this. We got this. Somebody else comes in and they're like, hey, hey, hey. Somebody like they don't do them to network. They don't do them to, they don't give a shit about meeting you. They just do battles to hopefully get gifted. And it's like I don't know. I just like I said, I'm a different type of streamer. That's where the whole misfit thing comes from. I'm just gonna do my own thing. Like nobody, like I don't know. I take a different approach to this. At least I consider that I take a different approach to this than I see a lot of other people do. And it's like I just can't do it. I've seen some people that didn't even like people. Like I don't give a fuck. If you're an asshole, you're an asshole. If I don't like you, I don't like you. Like there's no amount of gifting that is going to make me like you. But I said, we've all been on live stream for a while. Like, you know what I mean? I've seen some of the fakest shit in the world. Like people that absolutely detested each other doing battles just because they're like people for real want like hate diamonds. Which means that the other side, right? Like they'll go into this knowing they don't like each other. They'll talk shit to each other the whole time because they're hoping that the people on the other side, like it encourages gifting. Because then people are like, oh, well, I don't want her to lose against somebody that I've seen people like stage this shit where they actually were friends and said, well, I'm going to go online and then here's what we'll do. Like, I mean, it's gross. Like, it's gross to me. Like I said, I'm genuine. Like, I don't, like, I'm sure I have my own issues. I know I got my own issues, but like, I'm a genuine person. If I don't like somebody, I don't like them. Nobody has to like me either. You know what I mean? Enjoy my walk with the girls, right? I said, oh my god, it's been crazy lately, Aries. My oh god, like my schedule has been absolutely crazy lately. Like even finding time just to go live has been like a lot. Like it's been a mess. So I'm trying to get everything worked out with the site. I'm trying to get like all my stuff set up for fall because I said I have my shows coming up in fall. So I'm like, I want to pick good ones. I want to pick ones that are interesting. So that way I can drag you guys along with me and you guys can see like what it is I'm doing. But I want to get to the point. What do you think of Cardi? Oh, you know me. I love all dogs. I love all dogs. Hold on, let me verify myself. Speaking of dogs, that was their verification. It was a dog. Black or brown and white spots. It was cute. But so like I said, I stopped by her room the other day, and this is somebody I've known her for probably about 5 years. She's always been very nice to me. She has special needs. She was like, oh no, I was gonna say that's like the best. The doggy kisses are like the best. They're like the best. Like Bugsy, I told you Bugsy be all up in my face. I'm like, dude, okay, okay. He's like, no, I need to kiss you more. I need to kiss you more. Hold on, hold on. I'm gonna kiss you more. I'm like, dude, it's cool here. You've kissed me enough. Like my whole face will be like wet, like right here. I look like a guy that likes going down a little too much. You know what I mean? Just like all like here. I'm like, I get it. I get it. I get it. I love you too. You know? But so it was really overwhelming. I went to her room the other day and there were like 700 people in there, right? And they were all like it was a lot. And it's like people don't think that this can be exhausting. If you look at this as say like a job, some people look at this as a job, like live streaming. They look at it as a job. This is what I'm gonna do. With your jobs, your normal jobs, you're going to get 2 days off a week to kind of rest. You're only going to be doing it like, say, full time, 8 hours a day. You know, normally people get overtime, like all that stuff. But like, let's just say a normal job that you're like just showing up, doing your thing, blah, 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 whatever, right? You work 5 days a week, 8 hour days. Well, there's people that will live stream for like 12 hours every single day. Like, the chat was going so fast. She seen me and said hi to me. Like, she was like, Brenton, what's up? But like, the chat was going, but it was all hate. Like, it was just all people. And I said, this chick, like, my social security, well, that's good. I was going to say, you didn't have one before? Yeah, normally, I was going to say, normally if you go to like the, what is it, the Vital Records or whatever building, yeah, the Vital Records, like they'll, you know, they'll print you up one right there. I think it's like $40 or something like that. But so I mean, it was a lot of hate. And it's like when you're constantly like arguing, I've never had my stream get like that. Like, I've never had where people, like I said, everybody gets trolls. That's it, you know. Oh, it's not valid for work. Gotcha. But so, like, I've had trolls. I think everybody gets trolls. That's just part of this. You know what I mean? But this can be physically exhausting. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this can be. When you're dealing with a ton of people and a ton of hate like that, it can be tiring. And it's like, I think she just, like, the trolls, too, she has cerebral palsy, right? And so, like, people are coming in, they're like, you should have taken all that money and bought chapstick. She got cerebral palsy. You realize, like, that's part of it, is having trouble swallowing. Like, she's disabled. Like, what? Like, I just, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I think that you can be mad at people without going below the belt. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get why people are mad at her. And I said, I've been seeing it a lot on here. I've talked about it. I won't say her name because I said I've always liked her. She's always been nice to me. Hasn't given me a reason not like her. But, like, I've just never seen a room with so much hate. Like, I went through the other day and I was literally like, so I'm like, how is she managing to do this? Like, 12, when you're doing this, like, say 12 hours a day, like, I was asking her, I was like, when's the last time you took a day off, dude? Like, you do need a break just from humans sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm like, yeah, right, I don't like me either. But you do need a break from people. Like, people just dealing with lots of personalities and lots of, you know what I mean? Like, it can be a lot, but I've never seen a room that had more hate than what I seen the other day, and it actually made me feel really bad for her. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I understand, like I said, why people are mad at her, but at the same time, I'm like, you know, going through her room and saying shit like, should have bought some chapstick with that money. Like, yeah, you probably know her, Aries. She's still on Meet Me, and I said I won't say her name because, like, but it's definitely something that's been talked about a lot on here. And then they had like a trial that wasn't really a trial, and the judge, I actually met him in person when Diamond came to Philly. I don't think I know. Yeah, she, and like I said, I get it, but at the same time, like I said, I get why people are mad. But at the same time, I'm like, yo, like, listen, my son is disabled. I could never go through. Yeah, I could never go through somebody's chat and be mad, like, just be mean to somebody, like, when they have all this other shit going on. But it's like, you really do have to protect your peace. Like, when you're a live streamer, you have to get off and not take that shit with you. And your twin redhead sister, right? There's another girl had red hair on here, so I was like, you know what? I need to do something. Like, that's embarrassing. We can't be wearing the same outfit. But no, it can be, like I said, it can be very exhausting. But then if you take this with you when you get off of here, I said, for the most part, I really don't get much hate. Like, I'm cool with that. I don't get like a ton of people through like I used to, but I'm happy with the people that I have because, like I said, it's a good group of people. It's good people that stop through my streams every day. I like that. I can't imagine sitting here for like, say, 10 hours a day and having just nothing but shit. Like, just nothing but people telling me what a horrible person I am, what a piece of shit I am, and like, you know, like just picking at every little thing. I don't know that I could do it, but the problem is with her, because she is a sensitive soul, I can see where she's taking it with her. Like if somebody gets up and they're yelling at her, she's like shaking like crazy and like, and I'm like, Margarita, what's going on? Good morning, honey. How are you, gorgeous? But it just like I said, it's a lot. I've never seen a room that had that much hate in it. And like I said, I can see being mad at people. I can see that. Be mad at them. But like what is the point of going through and being nasty? Like here's the thing is even somebody if they're an asshole, you can go keep the blue hair, you think? You like it better than the red? But like I said, we'll see how it stays in. Sometimes blue hair can be very hard to keep the blue in. And I like this. I was going to do like a robin's egg blue, and then I thought, well, I don't know. Getting ready for the gym. How are you? I'm good. I'm hanging in there. Thank you, Sonia. Thank you for tapping the screen, guys. Tap the screen. But like, like I said, I can't imagine that. I can't imagine this. Oh, yeah, even the purple. Yeah, I like the purple too. I said, for some reason, blue does not want to stay in. I don't know what it is. You would think red would come out quickly. It doesn't, you know. But I don't know. So I said I do feel really bad for her because, like I said, people are picking at stuff that she has no control over. Like, be mad at people, that's fine, but like you're picking at shit that she has no control over. They're like, you need to get chapstick. There's people with cerebral palsy that drool constantly. Part of it is having issues swallowing. You know what I mean? Like, people are like, oh, she says she can't walk, but there's a video of her walking. No, what she said was she can walk 5 to 10 steps with her walker. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I can't imagine going and trolling somebody that was handicapped. So I said, it actually made me a bit sad the other day because I was like, man, like nobody deserves that. But then I've known her for like a long time, so it's like, I know that she's getting off live and taking it with her. And then I can see it wearing on her like every day. Like every day she looks a little bit more tired and every day she looks a little bit more run down. And that's where I get like worried. Because like I said, it can be, when you're dealing with a lot of personalities and people fighting and this and that, and like it can be, but like that's the big thing is you have to protect your peace. So as like a live streamer, if a troll comes through, just kick them out. Get rid of them. Like, you know what I mean? Once they're gone, they're gone. Even if they come back on a different account. Like, it takes a lot to really get me, like, upset. You know what I mean? But she can walk. Yeah, and there's all different levels of CP. There's some people that... I was watching a comedy show last night, and the guy that... one of the comedians that got up had CP. And he, like... But see, that's the thing is with therapies, too, like doing physical therapy, there's certain things that can help it, just like anything else. But this dude had it to the point where, like, one of his arms was, like, up like this. And he had his phone out. He couldn't talk. So he's a comedian. So he's making light of the situation. You know what I mean? Like he was like using it to like, but he was actually up there with a phone typing shit out and like saying it like that way. Yeah, she had trouble walking back. Yeah, I'm like, so I said, I don't know. I can't really watch too much about that, like this whole scenario just because like it does make me like, I'm like, because like, I get it. Like I said, I see both sides of it. I try to play devil's advocate with a lot of shit, but like, nobody deserves that level. Like, nobody, fine. You don't like her, you think that she scammed you, okay. I can see awareness, but when it gets to the point, like I said, I'm all for awareness. If somebody's a scammer, they're a scammer. Like, there's nothing wrong with letting other people know so they don't get scammed. But at the same time, I think there's also a line where it goes from awareness to bullying. You know what I mean? And I'm like, nobody deserves to be bullied online, but especially somebody that's already got that amount of shit to deal with. You know what I mean? Like, it just, I don't know. It's a lot. I'm going to stop talking about it. Here we go. Okay, I was going to say, I seen this one the other day. There's been this rumor. I don't know if you guys, I talked about Eugenia Cooney before. One of her neighbors came out recently and said that she she got demonetized on TikTok. She was really big on TikTok. She got demonetized for unhealthy eating habits. Like they're trying to, and it's actually in the new thing come September 13th. Like if they think that like somebody that's anorexic, you know what I mean? They don't want like little girls to look and say, hey, I want to be like them. So they're trying to change that. This chick she was very, very thin. And she had admitted before that she had an eating disorder, like all this stuff. She was real big on YouTube. Then YouTube kind of kicked her off with like the same thing. So she came over here and then, so I'd heard that she got demonetized. The last time she was on a live, she was sitting there and she's like, I don't feel good, y'all. And she's like, yeah, I think I think I need to get off and just hurry up and end her live. And nobody's seen her since. One of her neighbors came out recently and said that they seen an ambulance at her house and there was a body bag that came out. I don't know how real that is. I don't know. I think it's maybe what a lot of people assume. But like even her, like what good does it do to go to like? Cause I'd stopped in her stream before. I think I was only in there once. I was just curious. And what good does it do to go and make fun of somebody that has an eating disorder for their weight? Like what's your purpose? Like, you know what I mean? Like what's your purpose? Like you really think that you as like say like a troll going in saying you need to go eat is going to make somebody with an eating disorder go, oh, well, this troll said this to me, so you know what I'm going to do? Let's go make a sandwich. Like, you know what I mean? There's people that also can't control their weight. You know what I mean? Don't. All right, have a good one, Aries. I will catch you later, baby. But there's people that have thyroid issues. There's people that have diabetes issues. Like going after people's weight. Like I said, she already admitted she had eating disorder. She said before, and she hadn't really touched on it again. But so yeah, that's what the neighbor came out and said recently was that she had seen the one night that there was an ambulance out front of her house. And like I said, this chick was pretty big. And people were like, oh, she's just faking it. Like, she's doing this so that way people come in and comment on her weight. And I'm like, yeah, listen, I don't think anybody's going to do that. Like, I don't think anybody's like, you know what I'm going to do? Let's get as skinny as possible because I want trolls to come through and talk shit to me. That way it pumps up my live stream. Like, what sense does that make? But then it's like I see a lot of people like you going into a room saying the same thing that like 200,000 other people have already said to her isn't going to make her like it's not going to be her wake-up call. Like if she's got an issue that she's been dealing with for a while, she's got an issue she's been dealing. You're not going to come in and say, like I said, that's what gets on my nerves about the trolls. Like there's never anything new. There's never anything new. I feel like I've heard every single thing that there is possibly to hear. And that's the one, like I said, if they're funny, I'm like, like I'll sit and laugh at them. But 90% of the time, it's just the same shit. You're old, okay, don't look. You're ugly, okay, don't look. You're fat, okay, don't look. Like, I mean, like, you need to, like, da-da-da, oh, look at your hair, okay, don't look. Like, you know what I mean? It's just the same shit. I'm like, I can't understand how people get so upset over that shit, like, where they're, like, screaming at somebody, let me see your paycheck. I bet I make more than, like, what does it matter? Like, yeah, I mean, like, cool, don't look. Like, not everybody's gonna like you, that's fine, but it's like, it's always the same shit from the trolls. Always the same shit. And they like it when people like get feisty like that because they're like, okay, like this is, this is, I'm getting through to, I'm getting them. But like you gotta, as a streamer, not take it with you when you get off of here. Like I said, there's trolls, like I'll interact with them until they get kicked out. And then once they're gone, they're gone. I'm like, yeah, I promise you, I will not lose sleep. I will not. The wrinkle that's in my forehead did not come from dealing with trolls. I have children. So, you know. I'll blame them for it more than I'll ever blame like a troll for it. Let's see. Oh, I was going to say there was drone footage that came out recently. They had like their big thing in England. It's kind of like their Coachella. You know what I mean? And so they had there was drone footage that came out of this event because there's a lot of people that they will go to these outdoor events. They'll take a tent, but then they just abandon it there after they're done because they don't have room in their car once they pack everything back up to take it with them because, you know, on the way there, you're going to have less stuff because, you know, you haven't bought shit. You'll get there, you'll buy stuff, then you got to fit this in, then you got to put this in, and you got to have this over here. And then a lot of people don't have the room for it when they leave. So this fucking festival, it was a pretty big one. Like I said, it was like their version of Coachella. And they there were so many people that left tents, trash everywhere, like all sorts of stuff. So that video's been going around a lot. I seen this one the other day, and I actually thought this one was kind of funny. This is like more tri-state news, and this one was actually in my state. So there was there's like a chain in the tri-state area, and it's called Curry Hair, right? And that's what they do. They're a hair salon, if you can't tell by the name. And so the people that worked for him at like the Delaware location, they're pissed. Like they're pissed because this guy did, like, they're saying that he knew it just shut down. They're saying that he knew it was going to shut down. He decided to do a sale on gift cards for all his locations, right? Knowing he was getting ready to shut down. Which I'm like, yeah, that's pretty shitty. But like all the hairstylists, they had no idea they were getting ready. I told you when I worked at the venue, right? I left the venue. I decided, I was like, you know what? I can't do this anymore. I got in a job at the toy shop. I was like, I'm just gonna do that. Like they hadn't paid me in like a few months, like all sorts of shit. And I'm like I can't do this. So they ended up shutting down the year after I left, right? And you want to know how the employees found out? They got there and none of their keys worked. That's how they found out they were out of the job. So their bartender showed up the next morning and it's like, they didn't respond to any phone calls. They didn't respond to any text messages. And then finally, I think one of them texted somebody back and just said, yeah, we're closing shop. And that's how they found out. So, but so that's pretty much what happened to these hairstylists. So they were actually protesting in like downtown Wilmington the other day. But it's, like I said, it's all over the tri-state area. He had this whole chain. And so, like I said, all of his chains did this big, sale on gift cards, right? Get your gift card now. It's only half price. You pay $20, you get $40, like, all that stuff. And they're saying that he knew that he was getting ready to shut down. He did this knowingly, and like, then, you know what I mean? Like, he like tried to get as much money in while he could, while it was still open. So, and then people are pissed because they're like, he didn't even let us know that, hey, guys, couple weeks, you might have to start looking. Yeah, that's dirty. That's definitely some dirty shit. Like I said, with the venue, I was really sad that it shut down because they said I worked really hard but I didn't think that it was going to stay open much longer once I was not there because, like, I was the one that put together every fucking event. I was the one that did all their promoting. I ran I had to train one of the owners. Like, after I quit, right? There were 3 owners up there, right? At the one that I worked at in college. Now, there were 3 owners up there, and I ended up, right? I let the one owner know. I said, listen, you guys haven't paid me in a while. I was like, I'm like, I love you guys. I love what I do, but I'm like, I got a new job because I can't. Like, I let him know, right? He never told the other owner. He never told the other owner. So I get a text, and it's probably like 2 months later, right? And it's from the other owner. His name was Jeff. And like, he's like, why the fuck isn't tonight's show working? And it was one that I put together, but I didn't follow up because I didn't work there anymore. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't follow up with that person afterwards. Like, hey, do you still want to do this? Like, I would have because I didn't work there anymore. Like, and he's like, and I was like, what? And I said something back. I was like, I don't work for you anymore. What do you mean? Like, and he just never responded back to me. So I texted him a few days later and I said, Jeff, if you want, I'll come down because I was the only one that knew how to run the website. So that's where we used to list it. We did like a lot of online ticket sales, stuff like that. I'm like, if you want, I'll stop down and teach you how to run the site. And he was like, okay. And I'm like, and then I got there and one of the other owners, not the one I talked to, not the one that like had texted me, right? Totally different one. He looks at me and he goes, hey, what's going on? How are you doing? And then mama, because that was a long one. I was like, wait, there's so many letters. But so the other one, I walk in and he goes, I'm surprised to see you here. And I said, why? And he's like, well, people that get fired normally don't come back. And I said, what do you mean? He's like, Jeff fired you the other night. Like after I text him back, and I was like, you realize I quit like 2 months ago, right? Thank you, Mama. I appreciate you. I do. I appreciate you. But I was like, you can't fire me. I quit 2 months ago. I was like, I haven't been working for you guys for 2 months. And he was like, oh, well, he was pissed. I'm like, I don't give a fuck who he was pissed. I'm like, so I told the other owner, I was like, did Jared tell you I quit like 2 months ago? And he was like, no, he didn't tell me. And I'm like, now, I should have known. Oh, thank you, Mama. I appreciate that. Like I said, everything I earn on live, I put back in my small business. So believe me when I say it's all appreciated, it's 100% all appreciated. But yeah, so that's, and then I said I had kind of kept in contact with a lot of people. I was still going up there and whatnot. And I could just tell it was kind of going like it was getting slower and slower and slower and slower and slower. And then like I said, that day, one of the bartenders texted me and was like, "Dude, you were not gonna believe what the fuck happened." I was like, "What's up?" They're like, "They're shutting Mojo down." I was like, "Wait, well, oh, okay." I was like, "Well," and I kind of seen it. I'll be real, I kind of seen it coming because you can tell by the amount of people that come out to a place, like whether it's being successful or it's not. And I had seen like a really big drop in like the numbers of people that were coming out, right? And like the amount of bands and like, and then after I left, like the one owner that I texted originally was supposed to take over like booking the shows, and he just didn't. He just didn't. He just he would do them, but like the shows, there was only like one band on them. There were supposed to be four bands, and either be one band, two bands, like that's. So it was definitely based on its events that it had there. Like most bars do, base like if you give people a reason to come out, they'll come out. If not, a lot of people get very bored with just going to a bar. So it's like if you give people a reason to come out, especially an interesting reason, they'll come out. So I said I did a lot of shit for them. And I'm like, I'm not mad or bitter or anything at them. I actually thought it was kind of funny. I was like, what do you mean you fired me the other night? Like, I was literally clueless. He's like, yeah, you got it. Because he didn't even text me back to tell me that he fired me. I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like, I came up here to train him because I quit 2 months ago. And he's like, well, I don't know. He was mad. Hi, James. What's going on, baby? Good morning. Well, good night to you. But so, okay, there was another one. I was going to say this one's been, you guys watch Ghost Adventures? I don't really care for that show. Like, do you guys watch, like, the ghost hunting shows? I'll catch one, like, every once in a while, you know what I mean? But, like, so one of the guys on Ghost Adventures, right? He was originally one of their cameramen. He used to work for, nope, he used to work for, like, UFC, the whole bit. Like, like, before that. Damn drop bears, right? Those damn things, they're everywhere. But so he ended up he found out, like the police ended up like reaching out to him because his wife had hired a hitman. Imagine that. Imagine being like in love with somebody and then you find out that they've been shopping around for a hitman to take you out. Like, just imagine like, what? What? What do you mean? So one of the stars of Ghost Adventures, like his wife's in pretty big trouble. I'm like, the fuck? Like, but I'm like, man, I feel like bad for him because he seemed like he was like really, I've seen them like do interviews and whatnot before, but I'm like, man, like, like, how do you like recover from that? Like, just leave me. If you're gonna leave me, just leave me. You know what I mean? Like, don't. And I guess she was trying to. Most of the time when they do it, it's based on money. Like, they're like, okay, well, if it's unusual circumstances or it looks like an accident, then I'll get the payout. But I'm like, just leave somebody. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I get that it's a big payout, but like, how do you look at their family after that? Like, when you, if so, she didn't. The hitman didn't happen, but she got caught trying to hire one. So I'm like, how would you even go about that? Like, how do you put those feelers out? Like, when somebody's like trying to ask if you know where to get something, they're like, oh, you party, and you're like, what do you mean? Like, I mean, I go out like on the weekends, and they're like, no, but I mean, like, do you party? And then you're like, well, what do you mean? Like, I don't have like birthday parties or anything. I'm so gullible with shit. But like, how does somebody put the feelers out? Like, hey, do you know somebody that could potentially take my husband out? Like, how do you do that? And then like, I don't know. Oh yeah, I know a guy. Like, what do you mean you know a guy? Like, what? Like, what do you mean you know a guy? That's crazy. You don't know a guy? Stop it. But then, like I said, and a lot of times it's like the police do kind of like these sting operations where they will pose as like the hitman and whatnot, and then they'll go and and I'm like, that's just stupid. That's just stupid. You want to be with somebody, then don't be with them. Like, I get that you want their insurance money, But at the same time, like, come on, man. You're gonna spend all these years in jail and not get any money. Like, so what's the purpose? I don't get the purpose. All right. Oh, have you guys been watching the Cardi B trial? I love her. I don't even like her music, but I just adore her. Like, this is such a circus. This woman, right? She was a former security guard of Cardi B's, right? And you go on and watch the videos because it's a riot. This woman is suing Cardi B for $24 million, right? Because she said Cardi hit her on the side of her face. And she went out and she hired a lawyer. Cardi B's lawyer is like obviously like a great lawyer because she can afford it. This other woman, I don't know where she found this dude, but he is like it's like a joke. Like it's a joke. He's like, so on this date, and the judge is like, that's irrelevant. You don't need to answer that. And he's like, your hair was blue yesterday, or not blue. I'm saying blue because mine. But he's like, your hair was blonde yesterday. It's brown today. And she's like, yes, I wear wigs. Like, this dude's just an idiot. So she's like, the whole thing started because they went to a gyno appointment, right? They literally called the manager called there and said, listen, she needs an appointment. At the time, she was, we'll say 8 to 14 weeks pregnant, right? And so she's getting up on the stand. She's like, I never hit her. There's a receptionist there that's saying like, hey, I seen the whole thing. She didn't hit her. And then the lawyer is just stupid. Like, he's stupid. The judge is like, can you please stop yelling? And he goes, well, I was trying to speak louder because people told me yesterday they couldn't hear what I was saying. Like, go on and watch it because her facial expressions are funny as fuck. Like, he's like, so would you say like, he's like, so are you disabled? And she's like, no. He's like, but you said you were disabled before at that time. And she's like, I was pregnant. And he's like, but do you consider that a disability? And she was like, yeah, when I'm pregnant, it's definitely a disability. And like, he's like, oh, and he keeps, well, could you raise your arms above your head? And she's like, yeah. And he's like, so you could have hit her if you wanted to. And she's like, yeah, I could have. But once again, I was pregnant. I knew I was pregnant. I wasn't, and the whole thing started because the woman went to the gyno appointment with her, right? And, it started, like, already they called and said, hey, can you make sure this one, this person's coming in? Can you make sure there's no other patients in the office? They had her come in on a Saturday just because they didn't have any other appointments that day. They were only open, like, Monday through Friday, right? And the woman that's supposed to be the security guard gets her phone out and starts recording her, like, walking around. And she's like, dude, I'm at my gyna doctor's. Like, she's like, which I can understand. I'd be pissed too. There was a reason. Like, I mean, come on. Like, that's already like a HIPAA thing. Like, you're not supposed to do that. Like, you're not supposed to, even be live on, like from, say, an emergency room, or like because something could slip and then, you say, but so that's what started it. And so like, it's just a mess. But like the guy, he's like, you said at one point, because she's like, well, yeah, she's bigger than me. And he's like, so bigger. And she's like, yeah, she said at the time I was 130 pounds. I'm only like, I forget how tall she said she was, but she's like, yeah, she's bigger than me. And he's like, would you say she's fat? And she's like, well, I mean, I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying she's bigger than me. I mean, like, the whole thing is like it's a joke. Like, it's a joke. Like, you can hear people in the crowd laughing. This lawyer is probably the worst. I think that he thought this was his big break. He was going to be like the lawyer in the O.J. Simpson case. And he's just a horrible lawyer. Like, the shit that he asked, like, he's like, can you look at my client and say to her what you said that day? And she was like, why? And the judge was like, yeah, that's irrelevant. She knows what she said to her that day. Like, why? And he's like, is it possible that you're scared to look at her and say it? And she's like, what? No. And then he's asking her questions. Do you know what this is? And it's like legal terms, right? Do you know what, blah, blah, blah is? And she's like, no. He's like, well, do you know what da-da-da is? And she's like, no. And he's like, well, what about da-da? And they're just trying to find some relevancy in anything. This chick is suing her for $24 million. Yeah, she's suing her for $24 million. I don't think that she ever went in with the anticipation she was going to get it. But I think she was hoping they would settle out of court with her. But here, like, how, because like I said, the doctor was there. The doctor came and testified on Cardi B's behalf. The receptionist came there and testified on behalf of Cardi B's, and they were like, yeah, they were screaming, like, hands were like, kind of like, duh, 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 they were in, but she's like, but nobody hit anybody, at least that I seen. She was like, the security guard went to go like smack her, and she said she ended up, she said, I stepped in between the two of them and she hit me on my shoulder. She was like, but it wasn't a big deal. Like, it wasn't even that. But I'm like, yeah, I can see somebody being mad over, you're going to the gyna doctor and somebody's got their phone out and they're recording you. Like, what? Put your fucking phone away. Like, there's a reason she scheduled it on a Saturday. There's a reason that they made sure that there was no people in there. And then you're going to record her walking into the doctor's office. So they had some type of heated exchange. I don't know. But so, yeah, she's trying to get $24 million out of her. I'm like, yeah, good luck. Good luck. But yeah, if you get a chance today, watch like some of the replays, because you're going to be like, what the fuck? This dude has issues. Like, this lawyer is like literally the worst lawyer I think I've ever seen. I was gonna say, I seen this one the other day and I thought it was kind of interesting, so I wrote it down. There are parents that are actually suing ChatGPT, right? ChatGPT, some people are looking at it as like a friend, right? Their son was homeschooled and he didn't have a lot of friends, and so he actually started talking to that, you get it, ChatGPT. I've never used it. I get what it does. I've never used it, but started kind of talking to him like it was a person, right? And so he asked it at one point in time. He was like, "I'm really depressed, and I'm debating da 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 da," right? Like, or he didn't even go into it that deep. He was like, "I'm really depressed, and I don't know what to do." And they were like, "Well, maybe you should blah blah blah," whatever they said. And then he asked it another time. He was like, "Hey, I'm really, really depressed and I'm really sad. Should I go tell my mom about this?" And they said, "Well, no, I mean, if it's not bad and it's something you can control, then there's no reason to bring them into it." You know what I mean? But didn't necessarily give bad advice. You know what I mean? Like, just kind of said, and then the son ended up unaliving himself. So now the parents are suing ChatGPT. And I'm like, to me, there was other issues. To me, I think that the parents are just searching for somebody to blame because they don't want to say, well, he didn't have any friends because we homeschooled him, or how did we not see this? So they're focusing it on something else. I don't think that they're doing it for money. I think they're doing it to kind of, make themselves feel better, if that makes any sense. Just make themselves feel better. So, God, Burning Man this year has been a fucking mess. Have you guys seen the videos from Burning Man? I always wanted to go to Burning Man when I was younger, and like then I realized like, it's like straight up in the desert. Like in the desert. Like big time. And that just does not seem appealing to me. Like, I like the fire spinning and all that. I would love to like go do that stuff. But yeah, so they had big issues with the traffic this year. On top of it, there were people that were posting videos like, I've been at Burning Man for 20 minutes, and like they had like really bad like windstorms too. So people just look dusty. Like they're just like, they look like they're antique and nobody's given them any love in like 20 years. Like, but people are like, I've been here for 20 minutes and they're wiping dust off their face and out their eyes and shit. And I'm like, and then I realized everybody out there is probably fucked up. And I love going to concerts. I don't like being around assholes when they're like super, super on something. We've all had that time where, like, I'll go out and drink, but I don't really do anything else. So, like, I'll go out and drink. And there's always those people at festivals that can't handle it. They overdo it. And then you mix in other substances, and it's like, you know what I mean? All right, guys, I got to get ready to get off here. I said they're coming to replace my gas meter today, so I don't know whether they're doing the inside or the outside. They called me the other day. So I got, like, an hour this is stupid. I'm going to go run my dog. Yeah, got an hour. We'll see what they do. I don't know. But so then, I love you, Sonia. Guys, I love your faces. Thank you guys so much for stopping by to see me. You guys know that you're always welcome. Z, you're amazing. I said it was a great morning. It was a great morning. Like, I'm actually like, whoa, okay. I will be back on later. I hope you guys, if I don't see you again today, I hope you guys all have an amazing day, because you guys fucking deserve it, okay? I love you guys. I really do. I absolutely, I look forward to this part in my day. I'm just coming in and chatting with you guys. So I will catch y'all later.